What's up, guys? I'm Endbeater. I recently started playing Kirby in the Forgotten Land, so today I will be ranking every boss intro, which is the cutscene that plays before the boss itself. I will not be ranking the bosses themselves, just their intro. And later on, I might do a video ranking those. We'll see. But yeah, if you want to have a compilation of every boss, I made a video yesterday with that. So if you want to see every boss by itself, don't watch this. Or if you want to see every boss intro, don't watch this because this has a lot talking. So let's get into it with number 15, Tropic Woods. So, Tropic Woods is all the way at the bottom for one simple reason. There's really nothing to it. He just kind of opens his mouth and screams, and then, there are some effects. And every boss intro in this game is good. I had a really hard time ranking this, and most of them tie for first. Basically all of them, tie for first, kind of, because these are all really good. But Tropic Woods doesn't really have much to it. He just kind of screams, and he's a tree, so screaming doesn't really go the best. I get he's alive, but screaming doesn't go the best with a tree. So that'll take number 15, and in number 14 we have Silly Dillo. Okay, so with Silly Dillo, another really simple reason, which is that his gimmick, of being silly, does not really work well in that intro. Intros are meant to look, kind of cool, to represent the boss in, a cool way, how it's a boss and powerful. But, if this was, the first or second boss, I could get it. But if this is the fourth boss in the game, and if you do the Coliseum, when you unlock it, it's the fifth boss. That means that you already did a lot of bosses that are strong. So having a silly one just doesn't go well in it. And before I continue, I'm going to quickly say I'm not including any Phantom versions of bosses other than Phantom Leon and Chaos Elphalus, since those both have, completely different intros. Every other Phantom boss is the same thing, both, colors swapped. So I'm not going to be including those. For King Dedede, the problem with him, it takes way too long. With bosses, sometimes it's good to take a while to get you excited for it, but since anyone that's played any Kirby game before or knows anything about Kirby, I've played Super Smash Bros., so I've seen King Dedede in that. And if you just know what King Dedede looks like, you can already guess that's gonna be King Dedede. I don't know how to pronounce it, but so the problem is it just takes way too long for a boss you know it's gonna be. So it just takes way too long. So that's gonna take 12, I think. Next up at number 11, we have Soul Forgo. Again, as I said, all of these are good, and there's really nothing wrong with anything going forward now. They just aren't as good as some others. If you don't recognize Soul Forgo, that's because it's a fake out. So that also kind of brings it down a bit. that you don't, like, this one is kind of cool and you don't even get to fight him. On the bright side, you do get to fight Morpho Knight, which people definitely look forward to, so that's good, but yeah, so considering that you don't even fight this guy, it's not as good as others, so this takes number 11. Morpho Knight, again, kind of low, because no specific reason, just not as good as others, but, like, you don't think Morpho Knight's going to be in the game. Not to mention, Morpho Knight's not even in it till, like, a side quest that only gets unlocked after you beat the game. So most players might just stop, since usually the side quest isn't really important in most Kirby games, from what I've heard. So most people would stop. They would just think Morpho Knight's not in it. In the side quest, every boss so far, not including Morpho Knight, is just a copy of a boss you already fought. So yeah, Morpho Knight's definitely a good surprise for fans of the series. Plus, it's after a fake out, so that's kind of good too. Again, the fake out itself wasn't good, but being after one's pretty good. So Morpho Knight takes number 9. I messed up my numbers. That was number 10. This is number 9, which is Forgo DDD, which is the first you actually hear of like Fecto Forgo with Forgo in the name. And Mass DDD is in other Kirby games, so again, it's kind of fun for returning people of the series, for returning players. So it's kind of cool. He wields 2 hammers. He, like, tries to get the mask off in the intro, but he can't, and then he just turns around you can see the mask a bit, and then he wields 2 hammers. So, pretty good. And this will take number 9. This one, again, is a bit too long. It's even longer than King DDD's. And for players who, like, want to just watch all the cutscenes, if you, like, in the game, you can rewatch cutscenes. It just takes way too long to get to the point, especially since it has the part before you actually get to him. And if you don't know from this, if you haven't played the game, basically when it like kind of clips to the next part, in between that is like actual gameplay that they just not included, where you do fight a bit of enemies. So that's where that would come into. But you can tell already you're gonna fight him eventually, so it just takes a bit long to get to him. And again, it's also not the best. He just kind of takes off his cape. So that takes number 8. Coraline is kind of similar to Leongar, where she just like kind of takes off her cloak. This time she's facing the back, and you don't know you're fighting her for like 10 hours straight before actually getting to fight her. So this one's a bit better. Plus, you can't see her at all, like with the coat on, and all you get to see is one paw before she ends up revealing herself. So that's what brings this up a bit to number 7. Plus, also, she's before Leongar, so this is like the first time you get this cloak thing. With Leongar, it's kind of the same thing. So she'll take number 7. Okay, well, this one also takes a bit long to get to the point, with him like rapidly hitting the door over and over, and you just like watching it, waiting for him to open it. If you are playing the game, it does kind of work. Obviously, it doesn't really if you're rewatching it. And I told you I was ranking this based off both factors. So, again, not the highest because of that, but this one is pretty good still. Especially with him, like, just covering the entire wall when he runs in, and his tagline being invasive species, which kind of works perfectly. So this will take number 6. As I said, I was including 2 Phantom versions of bosses. Technically, I don't know if Forgo DDD can count as a Phantom version, but if he does, that means it's 3. And Morpho Knight could also... so I'm including a few Phantom versions. I guess Morpho Knight and Forgo DDD could count as them. But this is one of the 2 main, like, Phantom ones, which is Forgo Leongar. And as I said, I'm only including him because he has a different animation than the other Phantom bosses. So, his, again, not really much to say about it. He just kind of, it's cool how you get, like, a fake victory animation. I mean, most people are going to assume there's not an entire level just for one cutscene, but you get to see a giant lion dance. So, now it's good. It takes number 5. Okay, Fecto Elphalis is number 4 on the list. And hers, again, doesn't look, like, too cool. Like, she's not, like, striking a pose or anything like most characters do. But she's a god. She doesn't really need to. And just her standing is cool as a god. So, plus the spear, like, comes in during the intro. So, that's kind of good. That gives her a few points. So, yeah, again, not much to say about it. Just that she doesn't need anything. And it's kind of cool when the text appears, like, while she's there. So that takes number 4. Goramondo is, for a first boss, it's really good. Like, again, not the best, but considering this is the first boss in the game, in a game where you don't even know... I mean, Kirby's, like, famous for bosses. Well, not famous for bosses, but Kirby usually has bosses. But, like, you don't even know that it's gonna be a boss. Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of easy to assume, but, I don't know, it's just really good. It looks really 3D. Like, the words look really 3D with the shadow on the ground. And it's kind of cool that you get a bit of gameplay before it actually appears. With you, like, having to escape his grab. Like, that's how he introduces himself. He grabs you and, like, throws you to the ground if you don't dodge. So that also brings up some points. And he's a gorilla. Him pounding his chest is what he's going to do. So, Goramondo will take number 3. Chaos Alphaless is the other, what you can consider to be a Phantom version. I guess if we're including Chaos Alphaless, we can include Morpho Knight. That doesn't really matter, though. But this is the only boss, with Meta Knight, I guess. But this is, like, the only Phantom boss to be locked behind the, Coliseum, which not everyone will play if you don't want to do side modes. This is the final boss in the entire game, and it definitely is one of the hardest. So, again, it doesn't really need to look cool. Plus, it has the words behind it, which is the only boss to do that. So that definitely gives it a ton of points, and that'll take number 2. Number 1, we have Meta Knight. Like, he's, in my opinion, the best intro in the game. He just comes straight down, right at you. You get to kind of, like, block his attack with your sword. And you can even use, like, Meta Knight's sword to fight Meta Knight. So you could both have, like, an equal chance, kind of. Or you can use the Morpho Knight sword that I'm using and completely obliterate him. I don't know how to speak. But yeah, this one just really cool. I like how he swings the sword at you at the end. But what really gives this the points is that there's actually a secret animation. If you didn't know, you can actually attack the sword instead of pulling it out of the ground, which triggers a secret animation that I'll show you right now. Yeah, so you saw the secret animation where Kirby dodges instead of, shielding, whatever it is. That means that you can basically use, since you can also just not get the sword at all, like just wait it out and it'll eventually just disappear, which triggers the same animation you just saw. That means that even if you use something that doesn't do damage, like Deep Sleep, anything copy ability, you can do basically any copy ability against Meta Knight, even though it seems you have to use the sword. And it even doesn't have that cutscene in the game's, like, way to see all the cutscenes. Like, I had to actually go into the fight to trigger that. So, Meta Knight easily takes number 1. But that is all for today. So, please tell me in the comments if you want to see more for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. As of now, it's one of my favorite games on the Switch, behind Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Mario Odyssey. But it's really good game. So hopefully they make a sequel. I'd love to see that. But yeah, that's all for today. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. And I really don't have a lot of subscribers. I'm trying to get a capture card. One of my friends says he might be able to give it to me for free. If I can, I will buy one when I get 1,000 subscribers. I know that's kind of a lot, but I don't really want to spend money on something if it's not going to work out in the end. I'm also going to reveal the Spirit Team that I used to beat basically every Legend class in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, now that I have every Spirit in the game. So, comment down below what other videos you'd like me to do, because I'm kind of running out of ideas. And I am going to sleepaway camp for the summer. I will not be able to make videos during that. If I can, I'll try to make like 1 or 2 shorts and set them to upload while I'm at camp. I don't know if I'll be able to, though. So this could be the last video until the end of the summer. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.